Up 360. At Up 360, we create educational experiences. So basically training simulations for like skill trades. Skill trades are basically all the jobs of like an electrical worker, an HVAC worker, all these big machinery operators. These are all skill trades, and we make training simulations for them. And that is in the bottom of the screen. You can see that is one of the simulations I worked on. It's a steel production facility, and that's a hot molten like iron ladle you're pouring into a mixer basically. Uh, the best part about my job is I actually got to visit a steel production facility. It's one of North America's biggest steel production facility in Hamilton. And I actually saw like molten steel, like really close to me. You could like feel the heat. Um, so yeah, that's what I do. And yeah, that's my personal goal of like enhancing learning and social experiences using emerging technologies. Currently, I'm also a co-founder at Loose Ball Studios. We are currently making a social experience in VR, which can connect people, in wherever they are. And it's also, we're trying to integrate as many accessible technologies we can in VR. Currently, VR is not so accessible because you need physical movement, but other things such as text to speech, voice recognition, all these kind of stuff, we are experimenting with those technologies at Looseball. So yeah, in general, that's who I am. I create VR stuff in VR and AR, and I just love experimenting. So that's me. Now, this is what I do. I work with VR and AR. So VR stands for virtual reality. Pretty straightforward. AR stands for augmented reality. Uh, so virtual reality is basically you wear a headset and it will take you to a different place. While augmented reality is, you are in your room or in a park and it'll just add to that existing reality. Uh, Again, for virtual reality, you need a headset. I just have my headset beside me. So I have my Rift S. So these has like two lenses in it, so, and a screen there. So when I wear this, I am gone. I'm in my Oculus Home, which is much bigger than this four like enclosed room. My Oculus Home is a cyberpunk city because I like cyberpunky stuff. And Cyberpunk 2077 was my last AAA title I played. So yeah, that's off topic, but this is virtual reality. You wear the headset, you are in a different world. Augmented reality, on the other hand, is adding to your current reality. So, if you guys have played Pokemon Go, which was a big fad in the past couple of years, is basically you take your phone, you just scan your area, there's a Pokemon, and you just go, catch it. Uh, so that is augmented reality. Um, Again, virtual reality does require a special headset, and currently it is getting cheaper, commercially more available, because of the Quest 2 coming out. Uh, while mobile is, everybody has a smartphone nowadays, and you can just download an app and do anything with it. But there are special XR headsets, we call them, such as the HoloLens, which is a headset you put on, and then you can actually augment stuff in your current reality. They're much more powerful than your Android phones or iOS phones. But yes, they are coming up. There's something called the HoloLens. If you want to Google it, it's not a new tech, has been there for a few years now, but it's getting streamlined usage recently. Um, the other AR stuff is, I probably could relate to you all, is Snapchat and Instagram. All those filters, all those beautiful things you can do in there. It's all AR. So that is VR AR. Now that you guys know about VR AR, what you can do with it. So On the left of my screen, that's loose ball. That's the experiment I'm working on currently. And on the right is something we'll create today. So this is what you can do. So on the left is VR, on the right is AR. You can like see that the dog is on my bed, while in VR I'm in a different space. But there's other implementations as well. There's implementation in healthcare. There's one company called Precision OS. I think they're Vancouver based. They are currently working on orthopedic surgery using VR. So what they do is they have the doctor and the resident students who are there learning surgery. So without actually, having a real patient there, you wear a headset, go into an OT, like operation theater, and do an operation without like actually needing a real human being, you know, there, or even a doll or a dummy there. Um, so these are one of the application of health. There's application in healthcare. There application in tourism and travel. So the picture on your top right of the screen, it's Google Maps. Google Maps has this feature where you can, go into Street View. You can use navigation, and it will augment navigation in your real world. So when you're walking down like Queen Street and you got to take a left on King, you can just like Google will tell you to take a left while you're just walking. It's much easier. Just think of a video game if you play one, and in like GTA, for example, navigation is so much easier when you can see the navigation path on the screen and you just drive on the line, and that's it. That's what augmented reality can do. There's manufacturing and occupational safety. That's also one of the projects I worked on. It's from welding. This was actually a GIF, but I changed it to be a static image just because it had flashing a lot. Didn't seem very right. So yeah, you wear a helmet. So all these, professions are very risky. Training someone on the job is very risky. To eliminate that risk, they try to convert everything to virtual training, which is best because one, it takes away that threat to your life. Welding or working in a steel production facility, it's if you make a single mistake, it can cost your life. It's so dangerous. So having these people get preliminary training in a virtual reality, virtual environment, like reduces those risks. It also reduces the costs of company. Trainings are expensive. Because you need that material, you need to like prep for it, all those stuff. You require a space to train people. You need an instructor to train the people. In VR, the instructor it's already there. He just he can walk you through the whole thing, and that's virtual reality. It's just reducing cost, and the biggest thing is life is very expensive. It's priceless. So reducing the risk to life. And of course, there's games. That's Beat Saber. That's one of my favorite games in VR. And if you are getting into VR, I highly recommend you're playing Beat Saber first and then going on to other games, because this will get you like familiarized with virtual reality. It's one of the easiest games to get into. Very, very easy to play. Other games, as you progress into like intermediate stage VR player and then advanced stage VR player, I can suggest you many more games. There's Half-Life Alyx. Uh, yeah, there's a lot of games now in VR. There's also, I don't know if you guys have heard about it, movie screenings in VR. If you don't want to go to IMAX, for example, you can just wear your headset and you are in an IMAX. That's what VR is. Um, the other is education and training, which I already talked about. That's what we do at Up 360. That's one of the simulations I worked on. It's an residential electrician sim. So the risks of the job is getting electrocuted and electrocution can sometimes lead to an heart attack, which is quite risky. But in VR, guess what? You never get a shock. But if you do something wrong, it will warn you that, hey, in real life, you would have gotten a shock and died. But here it's fine, but don't make this mistake in real life. There's also e-commerce and retail. This is one of the industries sectors which is coming up in AR a lot. This picture is from IKEA. IKEA has a customizer for their furniture. You can currently download their app. You can put on a couch in your living room and see how does the couch look in your living room before you even order it. It's also best to see if it fits actually. Sometimes it's, back in the days, people used to carry uh, measuring tape with them. That is too old school. Like, why would I carry a measuring tape to IKEA to measure stuff and then, yo, will this fit in my house? Come back home and see, oh, will this fit in my house? No, no, no. You just open an app, put it in your living room and see how it looks. Does it go with my wallpaper? Does it go with my current setup and all this stuff? There's so much utility of AR in e-commerce and retail that I can probably give a lecture on that another day. Communication and collaboration. That is a picture from Spatial OS. It's an amazing tool. There's Spatial OS, there's Engage VR. These two companies are working to create collaborative tools for teams in VR. Like you can see in the screenshot, they're having a video call in a virtual space where they are sharing their Chrome and their calendar, and it's just amazing. You can also see their avatars. So what they look, they have a 3D scan model of them like the real selves. So you can actually see their faces a little bit in VR. So as technology progresses, these things just keep getting better. So yeah, one day, actually not even one day, HoloLens has currently worked on something, and it's called the Mesh, I believe. And the Mesh basically is an XR software which would like take your 3D avatar and put it into my room. So it's like a hologram in simple terms. So it's a hologram. So basically I could talk to you, I could see you, like physically be in my space using the HoloLens. So that is one of the cool projects if you want to look at it. It's called the Mesh, I believe. So yeah, that's one of the projects in XR, which is used for communication and collaboration. So this is all, all the applications of VR and AR in all of these like 7 spaces I talked about. Now I'll show you some data because I love data. Numbers are something I work with as an analyst, and this data is from PwC, PricewaterhouseCoopers, and they actually released a special report on just virtual reality and augmented reality, and they gave a timeline of like by 2030, this like it will grow our GDP by 1.81%. And there will be so much employment in this space. They also stated, what are the use cases, like how much of the GDP would be like would be for product and service development, healthcare, development and training, process improvement, retail and consumer. So I gave this data just, anybody who's listening and anybody who's here today, it's a very interesting space to be in. If you are planning, what to do after learning software engineering or like learning coding, I would definitely recommend looking into the VR AR space because this is an exciting space and it's growing big slowly, but it is going going to be big. It, I love how my co-founder says it. He says, VR and AR is at the current point what iPhone was back in 2008, 2009. Nobody really knew they actually needed a smartphone. Nobody knew if they wanted a smartphone, but now everybody has a smartphone. I truly believe VR and AR would be something like that. You know, I never knew I needed a VR headset, but now I have Oculus Quest 2, and now I just love it. That's that's VR and AR. Um, so that's all the use cases for AR and VR. You know, what is VR and AR? The next topic I would like to cover is how do we build stuff in AR, VR and AR? Now that I know about what it is and what it can do, how do I build stuff? Firstly, these are some of the things you need is you need to know what platform I want to build on. You know, if you want to do VR, you need to select the headset you want to build on. If you want to build on the Rift S, if you want to build on the Quest, if you want to build on the Steam Index, which is amazing headset, uh, or any headset that is available right now, the HTC headsets. So you got to choose your platform. You like, do you want to build it for PC? Do you want to build it for like a standalone headset like the Quest? Uh, and for AR, again, you have to select if you want to build for the HoloLens or do you want to build just like a mobile app which does augmented reality stuff. Um, so once you have selected your platform, uh, do I want to build VR, AR? Do you want to build for PC, mobile, standalone headset? You have to select a game engine. The best way to explain what a game engine is, uh, you guys know about cars, like cars which have four wheels and a body. A body is called chassis, and it has an engine. A car without an engine is just a shell of steel, aluminum. Uh, so an engine is what gives its power. So a game engine is basically that. A car could be like our idea, our, you know, all the everything we want to make, and the engine is what is actually powering it to bring it to life. So there are two current engines which are available. It's Unreal Engine and Unity. Uh, both are amazing engines. Both have their own pros and cons. Like Unity, I would say, is better for standalone VR development, augmented reality development. Unreal Engine is amazing for PC VR, and it can do some amazing stuff. Like if you want to go for realism, I'll choose Unreal Engine. If you want to go for something like a game or, you know, just cartoony stuff or like not so realistic, I'll choose Unity. The other stuff in the bottom section of the screen, A-Frame and 3JS are web frameworks. So basically, we'll use A-Frame today. You'll see what A-Frame is, but basically they are frameworks which help you create three-dimensional stuff such as video game, virtual reality experiences, augmented reality experiences for the web. And why I included them is because web is something which is very accessible. I can just share a link and somebody can just go and try out my application. So that's why I had 3JS and A-Frame right there. If you ever choose to, you know, deploy your application for the web. Third thing is the most important thing, and IDE with dark mode, because if it doesn't, I'll go blind. Currently, this slide is also making me blind because it has a white background, but else I wouldn't be able to show the logos. But yeah, an IDE with a dark mode, such as VS Code. I use Visual Studio Code personally. You can use Sublime Text. You can use Atom. Any fancy text editor, I call them. Uh, but yeah, any IDE, you need some coding experience to get started a little bit, but then we always have Google, we always have Stack Overflow. You can just reach out to developers all over the world. This is a generation of the internet, and it's really easy to get help. If I don't know anything, I just ask. And obviously, the last thing is the drive. Um, when I was in school, that was the hardest thing to have because you are super excited first year, second year, you are like, okay, I'm still excited. And then it just becomes, you sometimes lose the drive to do stuff. But these kind of things, if you have an idea, I really want to do it, and then keeping on the drive to actually having an idea to completing that idea is really important. Just get it out. Just get it out there to the people's hand, get some feedback. That's what I always say. Build stuff, get feedback. Build stuff, get feedback. People are amazing, trust me. Just build something and send it. Such as Reddit. Reddit is amazing. I usually build my stuff, put it on Reddit, and get feedback. I build my stuff, put it on any social media, get feedback. Um, so yeah, that's in general how we build stuff. Choose. It's very easy. It's five steps. Choose your platform. Choose the engine based on your platform. Get an IDE. Start coding, and have the drive to finish the project what you started. Okay, that's a lot of stuff we went through in just 30 minutes. Let's pause a little because we are going to jump into actually building stuff. For this, I hope you guys had the hack pack, and you got the link, you downloaded all the stuff. If you didn't, no worries, we can do it right now. I'll just share my whole screen. Give me 1 second. New share. There we go. Screen. Oh, before I do that, I need to. Cool. Share. Cool. Hopefully you can see my whole screen now. And if I go to this link, I should be on the. First of all, could you just type in chat if you can see my screen? I'll just check the chat real quick. Awesome. Awesome. Thank you. Thank you. That's awesome. Cool. So if you got GitHub installed on your PC, you can follow my steps. If you didn't, no worries. You can just download the zip and it'll be the same thing. But I'll do the Git style because it's easy. So I'll go to my desktop. I'll just open command here. Give me 1 second. Cool. I'll do git clone and insert my link. It should clone my code in there. Give it a sec. There we go. So it should have these files. It should have a models folder, which has our dog model. Pretty cool. You can double click and open it and see it. You can see the different animations it has. Yep, that's our dog. And you would have an index file and the marker, which if you have it printed, awesome. If you don't, again, no worries. I'll show you how to just look at your screen and do it. Now, time to open our favorite text editor. I'll just use VS Code because VS Code is my favorite. Okay, file's already open. Why is it? Let me. I'll drag on this index file. Cool. It opened up. and you will see a bunch of commented code. We'll just fill these commented code. But before that, just to give you an overview of HTML, it's just hypertext markup language. Fancy name. Basically, just helps you render web pages. It's just helping. It's fancy text, basically. Fancy text. And it has a bunch of tags. That's how it works. You got to you want to tell it, hey, this is an HTML file. And you got to close those tags as well. And anything in between basically encapsulates those tags. Uh, an HTML file has head, just like a normal human being. The head is basically what loads at the first and whatever information we want to give the user before they go on our site. So a title for the site, all that stuff, a description if you want to, keywords, all that stuff. It also has some important scripts that needs to be loaded before like the body gets loaded. So you will see there's an import A-frame. So as I said, when I was talking about how to build stuff, we'll use A-frame. This is A-frame. I already did, I imported a bunch of stuff just so that I didn't want to like send a link to you guys and, type a link. So it's easier this way for the workshop. So yeah, I don't know if you guys are familiar with HTML or if you're familiar with Python or C++. Basically, any of those languages. In Python, when we do import, it basically gets like import stuff. And in C++, when I do include, it includes it doing the same importing stuff. And currently, we are doing the same thing in basic HTML. We are importing these scripts. So there's a script to import the A-frame. There's a script where we are getting the ARJS version. So ARJS is another module which we will need for our augmented reality stuff. It makes it very easy to do augmented reality for the web. That's the easiest description for ARJS. I won't even go into the in-depth details of what kind of magic it does, but it does magic. And we would need some extras. Those are just, in addition to just vanilla A-frame, we need some extra A-frame stuff for animations and all. So we have that imported. So yeah, let's jump into it. Cool. So this is our body. So body is basically what everything the page renders, what you see on the page itself. So if I just say, if I just say hello world, you can see hello world in there. But before I can run that hello world even, I can just open the HTML file, but let's do it this way. In your hack pack, I mentioned about downloading Node and installing the live server plugin. If you didn't, you can. It's pretty easy. You can just search Node download. You can download Node for whatever operating system you're using, and yeah, and then you can just do npm install -g live server. I already have it, but it's still downloaded something. Yeah, so it'll install the packages. Oh, it updated it. Nice. And then you can just go into your folder. So what I'll do is cd VRAR workshop, and I'm in the folder now. The other way you can do it is also pretty easy, is if you go to your file explorer, you can just type in cmd here, and it opens a command prompt. and you can just say live server, hello world. That's our body. And you can see the header had the title. And that's it. It's running a local server now. Cool. Let's start getting coding this thing, our AR pet. As you can see, there's this dog. We have a dog model and we just need to load it. And that's about it. That's how easy it is to do AR stuff. For the body, I will do some styling to it so that it looks clean. So I'll add style. Styles are something which basically it's like a designer for your page for HTML. You can do it in HTML, but doing it in CSS is easier. So I'll just use some CSS. So hidden. That is just to make our page look clean when it's loading and cover our whole mobile screen, basically. Then we create our A scene. So what is A scene? A scene is like a room. Anything inside the room will be rendered. Anything outside it just won't. So everything inside a scene is called an entity. By entity, I mean this chair behind me is an entity. My room is a scene. This computer is an entity. My laptop is an entity. The mouse is an entity. You get the deal. It's a thing. It's a thing in a room. So a scene is our room. And in our room, we'll say, first of all, it's emmed. It's emmed into the HTML page. So what do you mean by emmed? Emmed is, have you seen a video getting emmed or a file getting emmed into a website? That's basically emding. Putting anything into a website is what we do. We say emding. And then we will use our plugin, our ARJS plugin. So ARJS takes in a few arguments. The first argument is tracking method. So because it'll be tracking our marker, the hero marker you just printed or you just have on your PC. And the tracking method, we will just say, use the best possible tracking, what you can find. Then we'll say, what is our source? Our source is our webcam. It is a camera. Then we'll just say if we want to emit events. So events are something ARJS spits out when anything happens. Like if a model gets loaded, if my scene gets loaded, if I find the marker, ARJS has all these functions which get triggered. And if I want to listen to them, I will just set this to true. And then I'll do some JavaScript to actually, once I listen to those functions, to do some actions. And that's it. That's all we need to set up for ARJS. Time to load our dog. So I say a dog is an asset. It's precious to us. That's why it's an asset. No. So, and we give it a timeout. So after 3000 seconds, it will just stop loading assets and it'll say your assets are too big. I can't load it anymore. It'll just say that. And then we load our doggo. Let me put that comment in there. To load a doggo, we just specify it's an asset item. Pretty simple. We give it an ID to recognize, like we all must have IDs, like our email ID or any ID, which our passport number, which helps us recognize who we are, other people. So I'll recognize dog as doggo underscore model. Um, response type would be an array buffer. Not going into depth what array buffer is. It's basically, it's reading numbers. When it's loading, it's just reading numbers. That's it. It's a fancy word because programmers like to be fancy. Models. So source is just which model are we trying to load as an asset. I'll just say models.glb because our doggy is here. It's inside models there, right there, doggy.glb. That's a relative path to the model. And that's it. We close it and it has a close tag too, like a // whatever the start open tag was. And that's it. We loaded our dog pretty easily. Now we have the dog. What do we do with it? The next step we'll do with it is first, we will get our marker. So that is the marker. Oh, that is the marker the dog will read for, like our camera will find. And based on that, it will spawn our dog, like put it in the real world. And a marker just needs a single variable that is a preset hero. So ARJS has a bunch of markers. You can also create your own marker, and you just need to pass in the name. So my marker is named hero. That's why I just need to put the marker preset as hero. Hiro. How do you say it? Hiro. Cool. Once that's done, let's place our dog. So we will create an entity, basically a thing, which is, again, give it an ID. I will give it doggo. Then I will put a position. So where do I want this entity to be respective to the marker? So the marker is basically here, and the origin of the marker is at the center of it. So that would be 0, 0, 0. So 0, because this is three-dimensional space, it has an X, Y, and Z. So I'm just putting the dog in the center of my marker. If you want, you can move it anywhere you want relative to the marker. I'll give it a scale. Scale is basically the size of the dog. I'll just put 1, 1, 1. For rotation, I will say, again, I will give it no rotation. I don't want my dog to be inverted. And for the model, I will say, you remember we gave an ID to doggo when we loaded the model? I'll just give it that ID. So # is to say, hey, it is an ID we are trying to search for, doggo model. Cool. And that's it. That's all we need for our dog to be in our environment. At the end, we would just need a small thing. That is our entity, the camera, which would actually see everything else. How will it track? And we'll just say it's a camera. This thing is a camera. Every movie scene needs a camera. And that's what the camera does. It is just there to capture everything in our room. Awesome. That's it. Now, if you had live server running, that is, it will automatically detect your change and update them. And it says not readable error, could not start video source, just because I have video on Zoom. So I'll just turn it off, else it won't give permissions twice. And if I just, cool. There you go. Our AR app is running. I'll get our hero marker, scan it real quick. Hopefully it works. or it doesn't. That is okay, because that is what programming is. If it works at the first try, that's amazing. Hmm. Let's look at our code.
Oh, actually, it did pop up for a second
Oh, it
once
did?
you, yeah.
My bad. Oh, there you go. So my marker is also trash. It's because my printer ran out of ink on the there you go. So we have our doggo right there. Its trail is straight like that because it has no animations. It is in its T-pose, what we call in game development. T-pose is the general pose of an object, but there is our doggo. Our camera entity is our webcam. Doggo is a thing. Our whole room is a scene. So that is our doggo. Time to add some animations. Animations, because we don't want our dog to have a straight tail. Pretty weird if a dog stands like that. Uh, to actually do that, we imported our A-frame extras, and A-frame extras has a very interesting module. It's called animation mixer. Oh, spelling wrong. Animation mixer. And if I just add that, save it, it'll reload the app. Got my changes, reloaded the app, and it should have animations. There you go. It has animations, but it is glitchy because it's trying to play all the animations that our dog has at the same time. So what I'll do is I'll go there. I'll say clip. Let's play the standing animation. I'll loop it infinite times. Oh, actually, I'll loop it repeat. And then I'll put the repetitions to be infinite. If I could spell it. Infinite. Awesome. That is it. Now our doggo should be standing in a single place, hopefully. Let's see. There you go. Oh, come on, camera. Don't give up on me. There we go. Doggo is now standing. So the last step I'll just show you for this workshop is I'll create a real quick, it's called a component. If you guys know about React and stuff, you will know what a component is. But basically, I'll just create a module which I can add to any entity, and do it'll do whatever function I tell it to do. For our module, I'll just get the animations the GLTF model has. So currently, I just hard coded in standing, but if I get all my animations in a function, I know we are running out of time. It's 6 minutes. Bear with me for one last time. L dot add event listener. Model loaded. So whenever our model is loaded, remember I talk about it spitting out events. So whenever a model is loaded, it will spit out an event. We'll capture that event, and we'll just log all our animations that the model has. So this dot element dot components, we'll get the model, and we'll get the animations from that model. Cool. There's a big thing we missed is basically telling it why that it's a script we want to run. And now it will stop crying at us. There we go. And I'll take that. So I called it anim. I'll take that and I'll just say anim. Now I attach that component to my entity model. Now when the thing loads, you will see, oi, 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 oi. It's order. I don't know why it says oi, oi, oi. But you can see all the animations it has. So standing, sitting, shake, roll over, play dead. And you can just change it to, let's say sitting. Is it called sitting? Cool, it's called sitting. And now my doggo will be sitting. Come on, load please. There we go, it's sitting. Cool, that's all we have. You can change animations, you have your pet. Before we end, I have challenges for you. So next steps you can do to make your virtual pet truly awesome. Let me close this, go back to my slides, which Zoom will not let me go back to. Control 5, 6, 7. Oh, there we go. So we have built our own virtual pet. What's next? Your first challenge is to use WebKit speech recognition API for voice commands to make the pet switch between animations, between sit, stand up, shake, roll over, play dead. And your second challenge is, use touch gestures to scale up and rotate your pet. You might seem this is very challenging. There is a branch in Git, if I can go to Git, which says completed. Please don't go to completed before you actually try doing the challenge. But if you go to completed, it has the implementation for the web speech API. So you can give your dog commands. So yeah, that is all the completed code for the challenge. And the second challenge, I have actually included it in the resources for it, both in the hack pack as well as the slides. So yeah, do take a look. I would love if somebody actually completed the challenge. If you did, email me, send me anywhere. That's my contact. You can find me everywhere on Discord. Yeah. So yeah, thank you for staying with me for the past hour. And if you did follow along, I hope you had fun. Yeah, thank you. And if any questions now it's time for questions. It's 8:28, but yeah, let's see the chat. What is Dogecoin? Oh, that's crypto. That's something different. Cool. Let's see. Do the screen. Do you have sites you recommend we could learn all this from? Of course, there's resources in the hack pack, and I actually didn't share the slides with you guys. You can just put it in chat, honestly. Anyone on the internet, cool. There we go. But yeah, there's a lot of resources. How would one go about designing an avatar ourselves? Great question. For that, you need 3D skills. So if you learn Blender, that is free. You can create your own virtual pet, your own avatar, whatever you want to create. There's a whole, like, you can just go to Blender. Yeah, you can just, that's free. Professionally, we use Maya 3ds Max, but I would suggest start with Blender. It's free. It's amazing. You can create anything you want. Like I said, you can create anything. Like, you don't have to even do Doggo. Doggo is just an example. Put in any model. It's already 8:30. Give me 2 more minutes and I'll wrap this up. But if you go to 3D viewer in Windows, you can actually, why does it show the welcome screen. You can actually go here, open. No, not this. 3D library. Yep. Uh, 3D library right here. You can load any model. So that's where I got Doggo from. It's from animated models. I just went here. I just got the playful dog, and you can just go here and save it as a GLB file, and you can use that model. You can use any model. You can use a T-Rex if you want as your pet, or this little guy. I I won't prefer small dogs. I like big dogs, but that's a different thing. But yeah, you can do anything you want. Um, cool. That's intro to AR VR. I hope you learned something. You had fun. Um, kind of related to one time pizza. Yeah. Opportunities. I myself am a VR programmer. It's a full-time job, and we have other programmers as well. And we have like VR has its own art, lighting, everything else. AR is a lot in retail. Um, there's AR in marketing, so you can join Facebook if you want to join Facebook Reality Labs. That's one of the opportunities they have. They work with VR AR. Microsoft has some, yeah, but yeah, there's tons of studios, and if you are in Toronto, there's tons of studios in Toronto. Which hardware could we get to best boost the AR VR experience? Good question. For PC VR, you need a good PC, uh, like a good graphics card or a good laptop which has a dedicated GPU. Um, for VR, for AR, there's the mobile phone. Uh, all experiences for AR are on like mobile right now. So that is the best to get an experience of AR. Google Maps is what's like really applicable in real life, but there's games. I say try out Pokemon Go. It will make you go outside, and yeah, that's it. Cool. Any other questions? Yeah, I'm everywhere. Any other questions? Just go to adityadatta.live/#contact. It has, if you are shy, you can just reach out using my contact form. You don't have to go to my socials. And yeah, I'll hand it over to you,
Oh,
moderator.
I have one more question.
Yeah.
Oh, sorry. So I know they discontinued one Oculus headset for like the PC powered one. And I was wondering, would you recommend any other VR headsets, or
It's
like would I
this
have to?
one. It's gone.
Yeah, they
It's
discontinued.
gone.
I was like, I wanted to get one, but I'm
It's
broke, and they discontinued it. And I was like, ah, man.
get the Quest 2. Get the Quest 2.
Quest
Honestly,
2.
if you connect the Quest 2 using a link cable to your PC, you can play any PC game with it.
Oh,
Uh,
okay.
yeah. Yeah. So Quest 2, they discontinued this just because Quest 2 was pretty awesome. I have a Quest 2. It's in the other, again, I moved my setup. I don't have the stuff with me, but I have a Quest 2. And yeah.
Okay. Thank you.
Yeah. Any headset you like. There's so many, but I recommend Quest 2. The other ones are expensive. If you want the index, yeah, pay like 1200. But yeah, Quest 2. Any beginner commercialized headset. Everybody, Quest 2. Cool.
All right, sounds good. So I'm just gonna take everything back from here. Thank
Yep.
you to those who are still here. We have UI UX, which is right now at 8:30 with HEMA. So if you guys want to go off to that, you guys are welcome to. But again, thank you so much to our speaker for coming to speak to us about VR AR. I'm sure a lot of you guys are really interested in this topic. He is in our Discord and we'll be sharing all these resources with you guys. So just to close off, again, thank you so much to both our speaker and all of our attendees. You guys are welcome to go off to our next workshop.
Cool.
Bye,
Thank you
guys.
guys. Bye-bye.
All right, bye.